Hello everyone, I've got some lovely autumnal prints out today to play with. I got these all from Nicola's craft shop, and I've also got out some lovely glitters, again in those warm autumnal colours. So I've got this burgundy colour and an orange. I've also got out some of these mulberry paper leaves and these gorgeous flowers. I actually got these from AliExpress. And I've got some foxes and little mini hedgehogs, again all from AliExpress, and some stamen. I don't know what I'm going to use yet. I'm just going to have a little play and see what I can put together. I will link everything that I use in this tutorial in the description below, so check the links out for these. I think I'm going to go for this little fox today and this bottom print here because it's got the cute little fox on there, and I think that will work really well with the burgundy and the orange glitter. So let's have a little play and see what we make. So the templates I'm going to be using to make this hair bow today are the Beauty Bow templates by Glitter on the Wall. Again, I will link these in the description below. I'm using the loops and the tails to make the 3.5-inch bow. And these little mini loops here, I think they go with around a 2-inch tail. There is an in-between size between these two, but I've decided to go for the smaller ones and the bigger ones, just so you can see more of the pattern. I didn't want to use the medium-sized loops and cover up the pattern on the larger ones. That will make sense as I'm making it. And when it comes to doing my canvas, this canvas is not backed with anything. Some people do use it as it is, but I find these can go flat and crease easily if you pinch the loops when you're opening the clip. You can get a nasty crease in this, so I like to back it just so it keeps a nice shape and lasts longer. To back my canvas, I buy felt and some double-sided adhesive sheets and do it that way, or you can buy felt which has already got a sticky back, or you can use some kind of sort of iron-on fusion where you layer a layer of the iron-on in between your canvas and the felt. I will link some options in the description below so you can have a look and decide which is the best option for you, but this is just what I've gone for personally. So first of all, I'm going to use my larger template for my canvas and obviously the backing paper as well. And just to show you that these loop templates measure around 5 3/4 inches or 14.5 centimeters. And now I'm going to draw on this fabric, but I'm going to draw on the front because I like to use my template because it's see-through. You can pick out the pattern that you want to show on your loops. So obviously if I draw on the back, I don't know which part is going to be shown. Bearing in mind when you fold your loops over, you're only going to see this part of the bow, and I am going to be layering this up as well. So I want to have one of these cute little foxes on there. So I'm going to go for this fox here, and I'm having it slightly on the outside where this fold over, so the loop will fold over here. Usually if this was going to be just one layer, I would line it up so the fox is right in this center here, but because I'm layering a loop on the top of this, I'm bringing the fox out slightly towards where the center of the bow folds over. So that is where I want it. Again, I'm only drawing around half of the loop because I'm going to pick a different part of the fabric for the other half. And then for the other half, we can pick anything on the other half. So I think I'm going to go for this other little sort of fox animal here. So again, I'm putting the image more towards the center. And now I'm going to cut these out, and then using my felt, which I've cut out ready to back my canvas, I'm then going to layer these two on the top. when I cut out my loops, obviously because I've drawn on the front of the fabric, even when I draw on the back, it's good practice to cut off the pen line. So I carefully cut just inside that pen line. So as you can see, the pen line is not going to be showing on my loop. So I've got my 2/2 of my loops now cut out and my felt to back my canvas. So what I'm going to do now is peel off this paper to reveal the sticky layer. And then I'm going to layer these on top of the felt, making sure I've got these on the correct side, which they are. I'm just laying them on there very gently to begin with. And then what I like to do is pick it up in the middle. I haven't stuck it right down yet, as you can see, because I like to curve it to stick it down. I know that sounds strange, but it does make sense when I explain. So as we make these loops, obviously you curve the loops round, and if I was to just stick these on flat, sometimes you can get a little bit of lifting. Sometimes you can get this part lift if you stick it on flat and then curve it round. As you can see, sometimes you get a natural little overlap doing it that way, but that is why, because obviously if you imagine the distance it has to curve round, this has got a shorter distance because it's on the inside, if that makes sense. So you do get this overlap, but if I hadn't have done it this way, all of this would have been bunching up in the middle. It's really hard to explain, but I hope you sort of get what I'm trying to say. So yeah, I found this method much better to do, and then you can just trim off around the edges any overhang to neaten it up. You can also take a lighter and just quickly run it around the edges, and that will get rid of any fluffy pieces of felt where you've just cut it. So I'm going to set these aside now, and now we're going to draw around our other loops and our tails on the glitter fabrics and then cut those out. So these smaller loops that I'm using from the Beauty Bow set are 3 1/4 inches across, or just over 8 centimeters across, and the tails are 3 1/2 inches across, or 9 centimeters across. I'm going to draw around the burgundy for the loops, and I'm going to use the orange for the tails, and possibly do another layer of tails in burgundy as well. I'm not sure yet. Because this is black at the back, I've got these disappearing pens which are actually like chalk, and I'm going to use that on the back of this. So we have all of our bow pieces cut out now. What I'm going to do is cut a slit in the centre of these tails, just leaving it joined a little bit at the bottom. And these ones I'm going to do the same. So halfway, cut a slit. So they're still joined just about. And I'm going to slot these tails in together. So I can get this sort of twisted look. So you've got the orange on the top on this side and the burgundy colour on the top this side. And I'm just making sure that the distance in the overlap is the same. And then using my hot glue, I'm just going to place a little bit under each side. And that will hold them in place like this. And now I'm going to make the loops with this patterned fabric. I'm just going to glue these bits down together in the middle and then add some hot glue on the tab ends. So as you can see, I made the characters slightly on the outside, so when it comes to adding our top loops, we're still going to see them a little bit. And then we're going to layer these little loops on the top of those medium loops. And as you can see, by going 2 sizes down with these top loops, you can still see that bottom fabric, and that just gives a really nice finish. And then we're going to layer them up now on the top of the tails. And now I'm going to add my hair clip and my centre strip, and then we're going to embellish the bow with some flowers and add our fox centre. So I've picked out some stamen and some leaves and some flowers to decorate, and we're going to pop our little fox in the middle. So to stick the fox on, I'm going to cut off a little piece of scrap felt. I always keep these little offcuts of felt just for my embellishments. And I'm just going to cut off just a little square, because hot glue and felt works really well together. So I like to hot glue my felt onto the centre, onto the back of my bow centre first, and then taking some super glue gel, I'm going to place this around the edges where it touches my hair bow, so the tail touches the hair bow, and just around these edges. And then I like to hot glue in the middle of the felt. And that way the hot glue will form an immediate bond, whilst the super glue takes a few minutes to set. So I'm just popping it in the centre, holding it in place just for a minute or two. And now taking all our little embellishments, our flowers and leaves, we can now make it all look pretty. So I'm going to cut this one in half. I like to do things in threes. I don't know why, I just think that they look better in odd numbers. So 3 or 5s, or just one single one. So yeah, we're having 3 of these. This is what they come in, these little bunches, and you can simply just pull these out. So you usually end up with like one string with two on each end. So I might keep that for one side actually and use one of these as a little bit different. And I'm going to use a greeny colour, a burgundy and a cream in one corner. So kind of like that. And this rose, just to let you know, this was a mulberry rose. I got these from eBay and it was plain white. And what I did was I used some chalks. So I've got these blending chalks and a air bud or cotton bud. And I used a sort of orangey pink mix to make this look sort of an autumny colour. I do like to buy white roses for this reason, because you can sort of shade them to any colour. So yeah, that's another good tip for you. Decided to add one of these little flowers on here as well, just to finish off this bottom corner, but I think this yellow bit stands out a little bit too much. So what I'm going to do is tease that piece out of that middle, and then taking my gold stamen, I'm going to pop that in there instead. So I'm just going to cut this in half, pop it through the hole in the petal. I think that ties it in now beautifully and makes that all look like it's meant to be together. And there is the finished Autumn Animals hair bow. If you've got any questions, you can pop them into the comments below and I'll do my best to get back to you. If you enjoyed this tutorial today, please hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and if you press the bell button, that will turn on notifications. Thanks for watching everyone. I'll see you soon. Bye.